Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Arcade. I am Aaron, and today we are continuing on in Space Quest 3, The Pirates of Pestilon. Space Quest, the amazing graphic text adventure game from Sierra Online and the two guys from Andromeda, Scott Murphy and Mark Crow. Last time we were on planet Fleabutt, and we visited Fester's shop of the World of Wonders. And we also dealt with Arnoid the android. We shoved him into the gears at the top of the World of Wonders, and we stole his invisibility belt from the rubble. And now we're getting ready to take off and see what's next in the cosmos. So, let's see. We need to. We're still technically landed on Fleabutt. So we need to use the computer and fire this puppy up. Thrust generation underway. So let's see, we take off next, and this is kind of cool. I never noticed this before, but if you listen real carefully, there's actually a little bit of kind of a spaceship sound. It kind of, you can kind of hear just kind of the dull rumble of traveling through space. That's pretty cool. I never noticed that before. That's something that that's only with the Roland sound emulation that comes from playing, either playing on genuine Roland hardware, or in my case, I'm playing on a modern computer, but I'm using the SCUM VM player. And again, I mentioned this in one of the other videos, but if you're not sure how to get Space Quest 3 running proper on a modern PC, check out in the link in the description. I've got a link to the SCUM VM player, and that'll show you everything you need to do. So, moving on, we will use the computer again, and now we need to fire up the navigation system. You are here. She has the traveler's checks. Here. So, Planet Fleabutt. And if we resume the scan, that should take us to the Monolith Burger. And that should look very familiar to you. I love this because it's an obvious play on McDonald's. And I love the affinity number served, because, I mean, really, at what point, how many times do you go, well, I don't go to McDonald's at all, but how many times do you drive by McDonald's and see the sign that says, you know, 300 billion served or something like that? It's like, yeah, okay, we get it. You've sold a lot of burgers. So we will set the course for Monolith Burger, and we will go and see what's going on there. So we will punch in light speed. Huh, I love that. And if you look carefully as we approach the Monolith Burger, you should see a very familiar ship getting ready to leave. Oh, check that out. It is the USS Enterprise. No, it's not possible to interact with it, but it's just kind of cool that it's there. It's nice to know that Kirk and company stopped by for a quick bite to eat on their way through. With the docking maneuver completed, the engine shut down. Welcome to Monolith Burger. Pop the hatch and ramble on in. And this is kind of cool. It's just kind of neat to look around here and see, you know, see all of the different creatures. I love the artwork that they put into this, and it especially looks cool. You know, I know you can see this now. You know, nowadays you could play a game like Mass Effect and see all kinds of different creatures, and sure, it looks cool and everything, but you know, just seeing it on these chunky, pixelated graphics from the 80s and early 90s PC gaming, I love it. I just love it. There's, I think that this is actually supposed to be a hut, like Jabba the Hutt. It's, I think that that's Jabba the Hutt, and then I think, oh, hey, quit crowding, jerk. I don't know if that's like an astronaut. I've tried to talk to these guys before, and try another word. Apparently astronaut isn't in the Andromedan dictionary. Let's see. You mumble to yourself. The other customers eye you suspiciously. See if I... The customers have better things to do than talk to a small-brained biped from a hick planet. But, yeah, so this is Monolith Burger, so you can kind of look around, and you can sit, and you can also go up and order. And this guy, oh, that is, has he got like suction cups on his face? What's going on there? So, if we order, and I always end up just ordering everything on the menu, just because it's kind of fun. If you go through and push all the buttons, and I love it. It doesn't even give you the option, the pushy counter clerk. Would you like some blatt flute pie with that? Total is 40 buckazoids. Okay. You gingerly pick up the greasy bag. You can hardly wait to have a seat and dig in. So, a bag chock full of gastric delights. Sometimes it's fun to just go through the inventory and look and see, see what all it says for everything, or just look at the pictures and see what all how they put it together. So now we can eat. And this is one of my favorite things to do. If you have the speed turned all the way up, if you're not sure how to do it, if you push escape, you can go up into these menus and you can change the speed. So 1 is the fastest, 16 is the slowest. I usually play on 1, and if you have the speed turned all the way up and then you go to eat, watch Roger Wilco's face while you're eating. That's so great. I don't know why. I don't know why that makes me laugh. It makes me giggle. This is what my life's come to. So, I think he ends up finding... Yeah. So now he's gonna find... he found the Fun Meal prize. It's a swell decoder ring. So... that was mighty tasty. Well, maybe mildly tasty. Well, maybe not tasty at all. In fact... it reminded you of the slick skin of a Vorelian mucus worm. That's fantastic. So, let's see if it... Yes, the cold plastomold tables are like millions of others you've seen. Let's see if it says anything about the bag of food. The tattered remains of your meal lay strewn about the table. Now let's see. If I try to clean the table... Nah, let Mr. Employee of the Week clean it up. So yeah, since we ordered the Big Belcher combo from... since we ordered the Big Belcher combo, I think when we try to go back to our ship... Okay, so there was there used to be an animation where if you tried to go to your ship after eating the Big Belcher combo from the Monolith Burger, Roger Wilco would come running out of the airlock with a green face and throw up behind the corner here. I must have done something to glitch out the game or something, because I'm not able to get it to work. I wanted to be able to show that to you, but so that's something you can try if you have a chance to pick up this game. Maybe you can get it to work. One other thing that I can show you while we're here. So you'll notice that there's to the left, there's another ship that's docked at the Monolith Burger, and if we try to go in... Out of my airlock, geek! Crash. So we've clearly pissed somebody off, and then if we try to go back in again... Uh-oh. That's it for you, bozo! Don't trust guys in black spacesuits. A pulse laser blast to the forehead is not your idea of fun. Fortunately, it didn't hit anything important. And that picture, again, this was before ESRB and ratings on video games. It's crazy to think that they were able to just put that in a game and not, no repercussions for that. So we'll restart here. And so yeah, we're right here. So I had saved the game. But so now what we can do, oops. Now what we can do is we can play this video game over here. This is the Astro Chicken video game. It's kind of a mini game that they put in. Let's see what happens if it lets. We'll see if it'll let us wear our Astro Chicken hat. On second thought, it looks pretty silly. Let's not. So if we insert Buckazoid, well, we gotta play the game first. Okay, so if we insert Buckazoid, a Buckazoid, we can play Astro Chicken from Scumsoft. Now, for the longest time, I always thought that, because Scumsoft gets referenced, it's referenced in Space Quest 3, and it actually gets referenced a couple other times throughout the Space Quest series. It's this kind of fictional evil company that kind of presides over everything. And for the longest time, I always thought that Scumsoft was kind of a jab at Microsoft, and it kind of was, but it was also kind of a jab at something called the Scum engine, and that's spelled S-U-S-C-U-M-M, so 2 M's. The Scum game graphics engine that was out at the time, which later became known as LucasArts. And LucasArts at the time kind of had a friendly rivalry with Sierra Online, which was the company that produced the Space Quest games and the King's Quest games and several other graphics adventure games like this. And so Scumsoft was kind of a jab at them too. And then it was also kind of just meant to be kind of a jab at the industry in general. At the time that the developers were working on this game, they were just kind of getting burned out on the whole production process with how these games were getting made. And you'll see it a little bit later in this game. There's even kind of a further jab at these big software companies. A little bit later in this game, we get to see the inside of what Scumsoft actually looks like. And, you know, it's got all these programmers on keyboards and then these people walking around like, you know, beating them and forcing them to program code. It's like, stop, you know, like, you know, they were just kind of burned out at the time because these companies were churning out game after game after game. And it was easy to kind of get uninspired after going through that whole process. So yeah, Scumsoft was kind of a parody at a lot of different things going on with PC games at the time. So anyway, we insert the Buckazoid and and that's Astro Chicken. There it is, this shitty ass game that so I think the shittiness of the game was also kind of a kind of a jab at some of these big companies that were just churning out these games left and right. Now, so what we'll need to do is we'll need to turn the speed down a little bit. And I'll tell you, I've never been able to really be any good at this Astro Chicken game. So if you kind of have to try to land on the landing pad. I think it's a play on the game Moon Patrol, something like that. That's what I've heard. I've never played Moon Patrol, but people that watched my other Space Quest 3 videos said that it's similar to that. Ah, Bakak! And the trick here is that we've only got, there's kind of a timer here. If you watch that feed counter in the corner, it's constantly going down, and every time you go to flap his wings, he loses he loses the chicken feed, and then see, I just this never works. I can never get this to work right. Oh, I'm so bad at this. And now I'm out of feed, and Alright, try this again. God. I didn't know that chickens explode when they hit the ground. I think if you... Now, even if you're not any good at the Astro Chicken game, if you're fucking terrible at the Astro Chicken game like me, eventually, if you play the game, I think it's... What the... Now, what did I do there? Screw you, Astro Chicken. I think if you play the game like 10 times, it eventually gives you the message that you need to get anyway. And that brings me to a kind of an interesting point. Oh, I got one. Hey, how about that? Whoopity frickin' do. That kind of brings me to an interesting point about this game, is that up to this point, you know, if you've watched the first couple parts of this, they haven't really told us what the plot of the game is yet. So if you bought this game off Steam or something like that, you know, in the modern era, you would have no idea what you're supposed to be doing in the game. Now, if you, you know, at the time, you would have bought this game from a, you know, a Radio Shack or whatever, you know, some sort of electronics store, computer store. You would have actually bought it in the box, and the back of the box tells you exactly what you're supposed to be doing. But, you know, up to this point, we've kind of just been drifting around aimlessly through space. You know, we woke up on this garbage freighter, we found a spaceship, and that's great, but we really don't know what we're supposed to be doing here. So, and it's just kind of happenstance. If you would happen to play this game enough times to get the message to pop up, then that's really the only way you're gonna figure out what the plot is. And at this point, we're probably 2/3 of the way through the game. This is a short game. I've been taking my time, but you can get through this game in probably under an hour if you're really pushing yourself. So yeah, I don't know. I just always thought that was kind of cheeky that if you stop and think about it, this is the first time that the plot actually gets referenced at any point. And I'll probably have to edit some of this out. I'm not gonna show me dying 100 times in Astro Chicken waiting on this message to come up. So we'll check back in once we actually get the message that we're supposed to see. Okay, so we had to play the game. I think I ended up playing it a total of maybe 10 or 15 times, and eventually you get this strange message that it's a hidden message in the game that you don't, and you're not quite sure what to do with it. So if you remember, when we bought the combo meal from Monolith Burger, it came with a decoder ring. So if we use the decoder ring, now it's going to give us the key to decoding the secret message. And they were such bastards. Not only, okay, so let me just reset this for a minute here. We've played our way through 2/3 of the game. You had to know to come to the Monolith Burger. You had to know to buy the Big Belcher combo. You had to know to play the Astro Chicken game. You had to either be good at the Astro Chicken game and land, I think, like 10 times, or know that you had to at least play the Astro Chicken game like 15 or 20 times just to get this message to come up. Then you had to know to use the decoder ring, and not only that, you have to decode the fucking message yourself. What a bunch of dicks. You expect you to sit here with a notepad and a pencil and decode this thing yourself. I'm not going to do that today because I don't have that kind of time, and neither do you. So I'm sitting here with my cell phone now. So how would you know to look all of that up? And then this is actually going to tell us the plot of the game. So this is important. The decoded message says, "Help us. We are being held captive by Scumsoft on the small moon of Pestilon. An impenetrable force field surrounds the moon. It must first be deactivated. Its origin is unknown to us. Scumsoft security is armed with jello pistols. We're counting on you. whoever you are, signed Two Guys in Trouble. Now again, obviously if you bought the game, then you've seen the back of the box, and the back of the box tells you that the two guys from Andromeda, Scott Murphy and Mark Crow, based loosely off their real-life counterparts that work for Sierra Online, it tells you that they've been kidnapped. So they hit a message in the Astro Chicken game explaining what to do. So, and explaining what's going on. But that's the first time that's been mentioned at all at any point up to this point in the game. So I just had to get that out there. Now that we know what we're supposed to do, we know that they're on a moon. We know that the guards have jello pistols. And we got to figure out how to take down the force field. So if we go ahead and get in. Oh, there he goes. There it is. Man, that big belcher combo was a little too much for your delicate digestive tract. You feel better now, except for being hungry again. Of course, the thought of eating here doesn't appeal to you right at the moment. Okay, so now that we know what we're supposed to do, we can journey onward to the next planet in Space Quest 3, and I think that's a good stopping point for now. So I just wanted to say thank you for stopping by and checking out the channel. Thank you so much for watching the video. And if you enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe to Friday Night Arcade for all of our other retro gaming goodies, videos with just me, or videos where Jay and I team up, all sorts of that stuff on the channel. And I'd love to hear about your experiences with Space Quest 3. Definitely let me know in the comments below if you've had a chance to play this game as a kid, or if this is maybe your first time experiencing Space Quest 3. Let me know. I'd be curious to hear your stories. So for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time on Friday Night Arcade. Stay frosty.